The least sticky lip gloss I've ever used in my life. It is a little bit pigmented. Holy smokes. Oh, I love this shade. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a video where I'm testing a bunch of stuff that is new at Sephora. It's more of like a testing new products video, but a ton of it is what is new at Sephora. A lot of the stuff is from my Sephora haul. If you guys want to see some of the new makeup from Sephora tested and reviewed, keep on watching. So if you want to see that haul, I'll link it below. As I mentioned, a lot of this stuff is from that video, but I also am going to be reviewing some stuff from my BoxyCharm box just because I didn't have any eyeshadow and I got an eyeshadow palette. This is the Beauty Bakery Breakfast in Bed. I have swatched it, but this is the palette. It's supposed to basically be a comfy glam palette. So, you can still go glam, but it can still be kind of at home type palette. I think that's supposed to be the inspiration of the palette. I've actually never tried Beauty Bakery's eyeshadow. I've only tried their blush lighters and I fell in love. So I'm really pumped to try this, and that's why I just had to include it in today's video. Before we start, I am going to test out one of my products from my Sephora haul. This is the Tower 28 Shine On Milky Lip Jelly. If you want to know more information about these products, you can go ahead and watch that video. I talk about what their claims are and all of that. So this is supposed to just be a hydrating, nourishing, clean ingredient type gloss. So it's supposed to have the comfort and the hydration of a balm, but the nice shine of a gloss. I did get it in the milky formula rather than the original just shiny formula because it does have more of like a opaque kind of milky color, I guess, or finish. So I got it in the shade Oat, which is like a peachy pink. It's pretty sheer. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on because my lips are really, really dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that sit on the lips while I do the rest of my makeup so it can really hydrate them before I input the actual lip products I want for today on. I've tried these a few times just as is on days like I'm not really wearing much makeup. It has not a ton of color, so you can actually get away with wearing it with no makeup. It's really, really comfortable. The least sticky lip gloss I've ever used in my life. It literally feels like you have lip balm on, but it has this beautiful shine. I really like it. It does have enough color though that you can get away with it and just be a super natural lip. As I mentioned, it's comfortable. It is very nourishing. And it is something that I've been enjoying. I've only used it a couple times though, so I just wanted to show you guys on camera what it looks like. You can also pop it on top of lipsticks just to add a little bit of shine and maybe moisten up the lips a little bit so they don't look dried out. And it's pretty reasonably priced, so I really like that. So moving on, we're gonna go ahead and do eyes. I am going to prep my eyes with my Hourglass Veil eyeshadow primer. And now I'm going to play around with this Breakfast in Bed eyeshadow palette. I am gonna go probably pretty natural today. My last few looks have been super dramatic lately. I just want to kind of keep it on a natural level today. Well, that's at least my inspiration for today. So I'm going to go ahead and play and just do a more like day-to-day look because I feel like that's kind of the inspiration of this palette anyways. Okay, so I really actually like this eyeshadow palette. I think the quality is really nice. I used all three mattes. This one's obviously light and you use kind of just as a transition shade, or you could just even use in the crease, pop like a really light metallic on, and it would be a super natural look. But I used the two other mattes, which are like the darkest shades in the palette, and it's still not that dark of a look. So I would say that don't let like how deep the shades are intimidate you. Boo and The View is the darkest shade. I didn't use it because I was going for a more natural look. That's the actual shade. It's more of like a satin, or is that sequin? Yeah, it looks more like satiny or sequin finish. Like there's little glitter in it, but it also has a bit of a sheen. So it's not like totally like dark, dark, dark. You could build it to be dark, and you could even use that as an eyeliner if you wanted like an off black, like it almost is like a bluish gray. So you could use it as liner as well. So I like that. It still has some dark options, but it's not as dark as it seems. I remember when I first opened this, I thought really like comfy glam, like you would almost think this would be like a smoky palette, but it's really not that dark. And I was able to create a pretty everyday look, which I'm actually really happy about. The metallics are really, really pretty, but they're not like overbearing. So I think this would be a really good palette for people that like to still do a bit of glam, but on a more natural, like moderate level. Like you're not going like my Pat McGrath look I did a couple videos ago. Like that was like glam, glam, glam. This is like everyday glam. I actually think that the name is really fitting. I think you can create kind of more glam looks that you could, you know, just go to the grocery store in, or just sit around at home if you wanted to, you know, put some makeup on. They're actually super creamy metallics, like really light reflecting and like almost that wet look rather than like chunky glittery look. So I really like the quality of these shadows. So now I'm going to curl my lashes, and the next thing I'm testing is one of the mascaras from that Sephora favorites. I am just gonna pop this on and see how it goes. I've never used the Tarte C Surfer Curl mascara, so I wanted to try that in today's video. Stay tuned. Probably in a few weeks I'm going to have a full breakdown and review of the Sephora favorites, so I'm trying to get that out as soon as possible, but I really want to test them all and have a good idea, have them all recorded so you can see all of the mascaras being applied and what they look like on my lashes to see the difference, and then give you a real good breakdown of which ones I think are great, which ones maybe I don't like, what I think about them, and then whether I think as a whole the kit is worth it. So stay tuned for that. If you're waiting for that, I'm trying to get it out as soon as possible. Now I'm going to apply the mascara. This is supposed to be volumizing, so we will see. And when I do the review, I will obviously talk more in depth about all of the mascaras. I definitely think it's super volumizing. It can get a tiny bit clumpy on the ends. If you've watched some of my past videos, you'll see my little trick that I do. Either the end of a brow brush with the spoolie on it. You can buy just like the clean makeup ones similar to this. And you just lay it like on top of the lash and you just roll it. So it kind of rolls the extra product off and it will get rid of that clump. Yeah. So it's like, it was a touch clumpy on the ends, but it actually is one of the most volumizing mascaras I've tried in a long time. Like really, really good. So I think it's really nice if you know, are careful on the ends not to be like packing the product on, like pack the majority of the product on the root of the lashes, and then just kind of go over the ends a little bit with the excess. Like this, I'm assuming would be really, really good as a layering mascara. So putting on a good lengthening mascara first and then applying this just at the base of the lashes, I think would be incredible from how it looks today. But so far so good. Like I think my lashes look pretty good, and I really am actually liking this eye look. I think it looks so blended and soft and subtle, but like still dark enough that it's like, I would go out and about with this on, and I think it looks really nice. Now we have cheeks, which I have 3 different blushes to do. So actually the first thing is this little Amazonian cheek wardrobe. It was the gift set that you can get in their holiday collection this year. This is from Tarte. I mean, I'm already familiar with Tarte's blush formula. I'm familiar with pretty much all their formulas for cheeks. So I'm actually not going to to try the blushes today, but I will be using them in future videos. You can look forward to seeing that. If you'd like to see swatches of all these shades, I did swatch them all in my Sephora haul, so you can see them then. If you want more up close and personal swatches of anything, let me know. I can always post them on my Instagram stories or whatever. All my social media is also linked below, so I do post stuff from time to time on there. So yeah, just make sure if you're interested, follow me on there, because I can also post for example, swatches of stuff I don't really think is that important, but let's say you really want to see them, let me know in the comments below. I'll go and pop swatches of that on my story. So definitely I can do that for you guys. Long story short, I'm going to actually use the bronzer and the highlight from these little kits, because you get 1 bronzer and 2 highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and use the bronzer in this trio here called Gettin' Toasty. And these are all new shades. So I already have cream contoured. So I'm just going to kind of place this on top of where I place the cream contour, and then I like fluff it up into the cheeks to kind of bring some more color to the face. And then same up here, I'll just kind of go over where I cream contoured. I used a pretty cool tone contour, so I do want to warm it up a bit anyways with some bronzer, and then I kind of run it across the forehead just with the excess to blend it out, but also bring some more color into the face. And then I actually forgot to contour down under my jawline, so I'm just gonna use this. It's a little bit warmer than I usually would use as a contour, but I'm gonna just do a light. I love Tarte's formulas. Their blushes are incredible. Pigmented, blendable. They come in mattes, they come in kind of satin, more shimmery finishes. Okay, so now that we're bronzed, I will show you the 2 different blushes that I'm going to be testing. So I have the Tower 28 Luminous Tinted Balm. This is in the shade Magic Hour. Again, detailed information on what it's all about in my haul. But basically it's a cream blush. You can also use it on your lips. I'm going to use it on my cheeks today. I'm gonna apply that first, because it is the lighter shade. You can see kind of how it looks in formula, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on top just to kind of see how this formula works. This is the Dewy formula from Rare Beauty, their liquid blush. I'm in love with their matte finish blush, and I really wanted to try the liquid formula, so this is in the shade Happy. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this on and then just a touch of this over top so we can kind of see how they look. So I'm gonna use a brush for this one actually. This is the Tower 28 blush. That is a little bit pigmented. You make sure you don't have any excess. Like I had already tapped off that much, so it is very pigmented. Since it says it's a balm, I was so nervous it was going to look very glossy on the cheeks, but it really doesn't. And then I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and run over that to kind of dull it down a little bit, because I'm gonna be also applying another super pigmented blush. We don't wanna look like a clown. So formula wise, I think it looks really, really nice. It looks smooth. It doesn't like look patchy over top of powder, because I do have powder on right now. I love the color. And yeah, I think the formula is nice because it has that bit of a dewy finish. It really does just look like more healthy, like that lit from within blush of color. So I really like that. It has a bit of a tacky feel, but not really. You could put a little bit of powder over top, but because I'm applying this blush as well, I'm not going to. I'm gonna like really just be minimal with this one. I just wanna see the finish of it. Like look at how pigmented that is. So I am gonna use the same brush, just like really make sure I don't have any product on there. Holy smokes. Okay, so that is really bright, but I actually like the color. It's a more cool toned blush, and we will kind of tone it down a little bit. Don't you worry. Ooh, I love that. I may even love the formula of that one better than I love the matte one, because it does have that bit of a sheen, like just the slightest bit of a sheen. Like on my hand, it looks pretty glowy, but when you actually blend it into the skin, it looks pretty like more like satin finish. Like when I move my face, you might not even be able to see it. It has a bit of like a sheen to it. Like it's just a satin finish. So I really like that personally. It wouldn't be so bright if I didn't have both blushes on either. And I recommend with both blushes that I just tried, if you have them or if you go ahead and purchase them after this review, or if you're thinking about purchasing them, be minimal, because you can always build, but like it is tough to kind of tone down a really bright blush. Like I don't mind blush being this bright, but for an everyday, I probably wouldn't apply this much. I just wanted to show you guys both formulas. I think this looks so creamy, and even though it's bright, it's still like you don't get that powder finish that you sometimes have when you wear a powder blush. Like cream blushes just look phenomenal. I like both formulas. I think I like them equally as much. I think both look really nice. And then I'm just gonna powder over top. If you have really oily skin and you are looking for a blush from Rare Beauty, I would go with the matte. It's a nice matte finish that doesn't look dry and it doesn't accentuate texture. Be you know, minimal with that as well, because sometimes when you add too much of a liquid product, especially when it dries down matte, it can look cakey. It's a lot, it's really pigmented, so you need minimal and then just build slowly till you're happy with the color. And then the dewy finish, I think it would be good for, I mean, even oily skin. You could powder it after and then it should be fine. The dewy finish, I think, has a little bit more of like a healthy type glow to it. Both of them I really like, but I obviously need to test them a little bit more before I give you like a super in-depth opinion. So anytime you see a review like today's where I'm just kind of testing stuff with you guys, like more like a get ready with me, check my monthly favorites, because if I absolutely fall in love with the product, it will be in that. If I, you know, change my mind and absolutely hate the product, it will also be in that video. So you can kind of keep updated on my products that I've been testing. Now I'm gonna go ahead with the highlight from the Cheek Wardrobe, the Let It Glow from Tarte. And I like Tarte's highlights as well. They are that like wet finish, very finely milled, not glittery. I still have that balm on. I'm just going to kind of work it into the lips. So I want to take away the majority of the product, but I wanted to like work it into the lips so I didn't totally wipe away that moisture, because I don't want my lips to be dry. The next product that I'm going to be testing is the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Intense Color Beautifying Lipstick. These are their new lipsticks, and I got it in Sharp Nude and Inspiring Petal. I'm going to be using Inspiring Petal today because it has a little bit more of a peachy pink, and I think it'll match everything better. The Sharp Nude's really mauvey. This is a very interesting product. You take the lid off, which is like this long, interesting shape, and then you actually pop it on the bottom, and then you almost have like a lip brush. Like it's supposed to mimic the feel of a lip brush and the shape of a lip brush, so that you can get a really, really quick and precise application. So we're gonna test formula because I have yet to use this on my lips, and we're also going to test the application. So I'm gonna go in with Share by Gerard Cosmetics. So I contoured like the lips, so I didn't bring it into the center. And now I'm going to take Inspiring Petals from the new Makeup Forever formula. Ooh. Oh, I love this shade. What this lipstick is supposed to be is the color intensity of a matte, but with a more satin finish and hydration of, you know, a more satin, dewy, or like cream lipstick. So you do definitely get the creaminess. It's not drying at all to the lips. You definitely get really, really good pigmentation, kind of more satin finish, so it's not like dull, it's not drying at all. It definitely has a beautiful, like lightweight, creamy texture and finish. Actual like applicator and packaging does make it really easy to get a perfect, you know, quick application. The packaging is very unique, and I think it's really cool. One thing I do want to bring up, it does have a bit of a scent, which I never noticed before because I've only swatched it on the hand. It almost has a bit of like a perfumey scent, but very, very subtle. So if you're really ultra sensitive to scent, you might not like it, but I barely noticed it. It almost reminds me of like Chanel products or like Dior products, like those higher end brands that have beautiful scents to all of their products. It just makes it seem a little more high end, and I actually really like the scent. We have one more, the Bite Beauty Yay Sayer Plumping Lip Gloss. So we're going to test this out. It's in Guava Puff, so it's supposed to be plumping without, you know, being painful. It has cinnamon oil in it. It's supposed to be hydrating, but, you know, make your lips look fuller and poutier. So we're gonna just apply a bit of that on top. Ooh, I love my lips today. Let you guys know is it does smell like cinnamon, so if you don't like cinnamon, you probably won't like this. But this applicator looks almost like a sponge, does it not? Like you would think that it's kind of like a spongier, like it's gonna kind of soak up some of the product. It's actually really hard, so it's just supposed to like glide on. At first, I didn't know how I felt about it when I swatched it on my hand. I just didn't know how I felt about it, but I actually do think that it's cool because you can wipe it and it's not going to soak up any of that product. So that's kind of cool. I think it looks very beautiful. I don't feel really anything. I do smell that cinnamon and kind of taste the cinnamon, but I don't feel any tingling. I don't think it like really plumped the lips, let's be real. I don't think very many plumping lip glosses actually physically make your lips bigger. I think it's just supposed to make them look poutier because you're highlighting the lip. I do think it did a good job. It did make the lips look a little bit more full and a little bit more plump and juicy. And I think that it did exactly what I would have expected it to do. So I really like that as well. I love the color. I like the scent. I mentioned in my other video where I talked about it, the haul, that it reminds me of the Bath & Body Works cinnamon lip gloss they used to sell. That was the only gloss I ever used. I was obsessed. So I absolutely love the smell of this. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about any of the products, feel free to comment below and I can answer your questions. And definitely stay tuned for my November favorites, because if any of these become faves or if I have any updates on these products, it will be in that video. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.